She was America's TV mom, but behind the scenes, Phylicia Rashad's real life is even more captivating. From her elegant and art-filled home to her powerful journey through love, heartbreak, and motherhood, Rashad's world is a blend of grace and quiet strength. With a deeply rooted lifestyle, accomplished children, and a net worth built on decades of talent, her story is one of resilience and brilliance. Let's step inside the extraordinary life of Phylicia Rashad. Do you know how many houses Phylicia Rashad owns? First, nestled in the suburb of Mount Vernon, located in Westchester County just north of New York City, Phylicia Rashad's residence is more than a home. It's a sanctuary and a hub of cultural enrichment. The house itself, often described as a mini mansion, stands as a graceful two-story structure with traditional architecture that blends into the wooded, estate-like surroundings. The lush, expansive grounds offer both privacy and serenity, with mature trees providing a natural screen from the outside world and manicured lawns hinting at a quiet elegance. Rashad, who gained iconic status for her portrayal of Claire Huxtable on The Cosby Show, has long valued her connection to Mount Vernon, and her decision to remain in the community is deeply personal. Her mother, the poet and scholar Vivian Ayres Allen, once lived in the area. Rashad's home, in many ways, serves as a bridge between generations, an enduring commitment to place, legacy, and memory. Rather than relocating to Hollywood or other major entertainment capitals, Rashad has intentionally stayed rooted in Westchester County, finding strength in its familiarity and the opportunity to give back in meaningful ways. The home's interior reflects Rashad's multifaceted artistic life. It is reportedly filled with books, art, and cultural mementos that speak to her passions for literature, music, history, and theater. The decor is said to strike a balance between sophistication and warmth, graceful without being ostentatious, elegant yet inviting. Family heirlooms are likely nestled among accolades and framed photographs from decades of groundbreaking work on stage and screen. The house is not just a personal retreat, but a creative space where ideas can breathe and flourish. More than just a private residence, Rashad's Mount Vernon home has become a part of her public mission to uplift and mentor the next generation. Her presence in the area is not merely symbolic. She has remained actively involved in the community, offering her time, wisdom, and voice to nurture local talent. Among her many contributions is the hosting of masterclasses in acting and performance, often held in partnership with local schools and arts organizations. These intimate sessions, taught by someone with a commanding presence and deep roots in the classical traditions of theater, have provided aspiring young actors with an opportunity to learn from one of the best. Next, in the summer of 2003, as Phylicia Rashad immersed herself in the emotionally rich and spiritually charged world of Gem of the Ocean, the first chronological play in August Wilson's acclaimed Pittsburgh cycle, she made a temporary home for herself on the West Coast. During the intense rehearsal period in Los Angeles, Rashad leased a charming two-bedroom, two-bathroom condominium in Santa Monica, just steps from the beach and a short drive from the theatrical venues and studios where much of the production's early work was unfolding. The condo, approximately 100 square feet in size, offered more than just convenience. It provided Rashad with a peaceful, warm retreat that supported her creative process while keeping her grounded in the comfort of home life. The space featured a cozy fireplace that likely became a place of quiet reflection after long, demanding days of rehearsals. Whether reviewing scripts late into the night or unwinding with a book, Rashad could enjoy the calm flicker of firelight in an environment that blended elegance with West Coast ease. The unit's Spanish tile courtyard added another layer of aesthetic charm. With its textured terracotta floors, decorative potted plants, and perhaps a central fountain, the courtyard embodied the timeless appeal of Santa Monica's Mediterranean-inspired architecture. It served as a serene setting where Rashad could sip morning tea or coffee, find a few moments of quiet before the rhythm of the day took hold, or even rehearse lines aloud under the California sun. This blend of indoor comfort and outdoor beauty made the condo an ideal creative haven. What made the location even more special was its close proximity to her sister, Debbie Allen. A powerhouse in her own right, renowned dancer, choreographer, director, and actress, Allen has long called Los Angeles home, and her support during that summer was undoubtedly both personal and professional. The two sisters share a famously close bond, and having Debbie nearby offered Rashad a sense of familial grounding amidst the artistic intensity of working on Gem of the Ocean. They could share meals, walks along the coast, or late-night conversations, enriching the experience beyond the scope of work. Their proximity also opened up space for artistic dialogue. Debbie Allen's home has often been a gathering place for artists, creators, and thinkers. It's likely that during Rashad's stay, there were countless opportunities for collaboration, advice, or simply the type of nurturing that only family can provide. In interviews, Rashad has frequently credited her sister's influence and presence as a steadying force in her life, especially during challenging or creatively demanding periods. That summer in Santa Monica was no exception. The decision to lease a condo rather than stay in a hotel reflected Rashad's deep-rooted desire to feel at home, no matter where she was. The comforts of a well-appointed space gave her stability, a sense of rhythm and order essential for emotionally demanding roles like Aunt Esther in Gem of the Ocean, a character embodying centuries of African-American history, pain, resilience, and spiritual transcendence. Wilson's work demanded not just performance, but lived understanding, emotional excavation, and a certain emotional solitude, something Rashad's Santa Monica residence allowed her to access without distraction. Beyond rehearsals and family time, Rashad likely appreciated Santa Monica for its cultural accessibility. The city, perched between the Pacific and Greater Los Angeles, offered the best of both worlds. Natural beauty, with ocean breezes and soft sunsets, and creative stimulation, with theater, galleries, and vibrant communities of artists. For someone so deeply attuned to aesthetics and introspection, the balance of natural serenity and urban energy would have been ideal. Though the lease was temporary, the memories forged that summer would leave a lasting impression. Not only was the production of Gem of the Ocean an artistic milestone for Rashad, it would go on to earn her critical acclaim in multiple cities, including on Broadway. But the environment she created for herself in Santa Monica played a pivotal role in shaping the performance. It was more than a place to sleep between rehearsals. It was a sanctuary, a creative workshop, and a quiet corner of California where art, family, and soul came together. Besides, Phylicia Rashad's personal life, like her illustrious career, has been marked by significant chapters of love, transformation, and growth. Over the years, she has navigated the complexities of marriage and motherhood with the same grace and quiet strength that have come to define her presence both on and off the stage. Her first marriage took place in 1972, when she wed William Lancelot Bowles, Jr., a dentist by profession. At the time, Rashad was still in the early stages of her career, gradually making a name for herself in the world of theater and television. The couple welcomed a son, William Lancelot Bowles III, in 1973, a joyous milestone that brought new meaning to her life. Becoming a mother was a grounding experience for Rashad, who balanced the demands of a growing career with the responsibilities of raising a child. Despite their shared joy in parenthood, however, the marriage was relatively brief. By 1975, after 3 years together, Phylicia and William Bowles, Jr. parted ways. Though their union ended, her devotion to her son remained unwavering, and she continued to raise him with love and intentionality. 3 years later, in 1978, Rashad entered a new chapter of both her personal and professional life. During the vibrant Broadway run of The Wiz, a groundbreaking reimagining of The Wizard of Oz with an all-black cast, she met Victor Willis, the charismatic original lead singer of The Village People. Willis, known for his powerful voice and energetic stage presence, was as dynamic offstage as he was on it. The two formed a connection amid the electric atmosphere of theater and music, and that chemistry soon blossomed into a marriage. Their union represented a merging of creative spirits from different corners of the entertainment world. Rashad, the poised stage actress, and Willis, the iconic frontman of a pop culture phenomenon. Despite their shared passion and artistic drive, their relationship faced mounting pressures, and by 1982, they had divorced. It marked another turning point in Rashad's journey, a period of reflection, independence, and continued focus on her evolving craft. Then came one of the most publicized and heartfelt moments of her personal life. On November 28, 1985, during the live national broadcast of a Thanksgiving Day football game between the New York Jets and the Detroit Lions, sportscaster and former NFL wide receiver Ahmad Rashad made headlines when he proposed to Phylicia during the pregame show. The proposal, watched by millions, was as bold and sincere as it was unexpected. Phylicia said yes, and just a few weeks later, on December 14, 1985, the couple wed. It was the third marriage for both of them, and it marked a union of two public figures whose careers had brought them into American living rooms, he as a celebrated athlete and broadcaster, she as the poised and wise Claire Huxtable on The Cosby Show. Phylicia took her husband's surname, a choice that not only reflected her personal commitment, but also became the professional name by which she would become best known. In 1986, the couple welcomed a daughter, Condola Phylicia Rashad, born on December 11th in New York. Named in part after her maternal grandmother, the poet and scholar Vivian Ayres Allen, Condola would grow up to follow in her mother's artistic footsteps, eventually becoming a celebrated actress in her own right. Rashad's devotion to her daughter was deep and constant, and even as she juggled the demands of fame, television stardom, and theatrical performance, she remained fiercely committed to motherhood. The marriage to Ahmad Rashad lasted until early 2001, when the couple quietly divorced after nearly 16 years together. Despite the end of their marriage, Phylicia retained the surname Rashad, not only as a personal choice, but also as a reflection of the identity she had solidified during some of the most pivotal years of her career. By then, the name Phylicia Rashad had become synonymous with excellence in the arts, strength in representation, and dignity in public life. In addition, Phylicia Rashad has long been recognized not only for her accomplishments in the arts, but also for her poise, dignity, and intelligence, qualities that have earned her respect across generations. However, her long-standing friendship with Bill Cosby, her iconic co-star from The Cosby Show, placed her at the center of public controversy in 2021, forcing her to navigate the complexities of loyalty, public accountability, and institutional responsibility. Rashad's professional and personal relationship with Bill Cosby began in the mid-1980s, when they were cast as television's most beloved fictional couple, Cliff and Claire Huxtable. Their chemistry was undeniable, and together they helped reshape the image of African-American families on prime-time television. Off-screen, the two developed a close friendship that extended well beyond their shared years on The Cosby Show. Cosby became a trusted confidant and supporter, and their bond deepened over time. In a powerful gesture of their closeness, Cosby even gave Phylicia away at her wedding to former NFL star Ahmad Rashad in December 1985, publicly cementing the strength of their personal connection. Decades later, however, that relationship would be tested by a national reckoning. In 2018, Cosby was convicted of aggravated indecent assault for drugging and sexually assaulting Andrea Constand in 2004. The conviction followed years of mounting accusations from dozens of women, whose stories painted a harrowing pattern of predatory behavior. Cosby's fall from grace marked a pivotal moment in the Me Too era, a symbol of long-delayed justice for victims of sexual abuse, especially those whose allegations had gone ignored for years. In June 2021, when the Pennsylvania Supreme Court overturned Cosby's conviction on a legal technicality, ruling that his due process rights had been violated, Rashad took to Twitter to express her reaction. Her post, which read in part, "Finally, A terrible wrong is being righted. A miscarriage of justice is corrected, was widely interpreted as a full-throated defense of Cosby and ignited a firestorm of backlash. The tweet stunned many, particularly those who saw Rashad as a beacon of moral clarity and compassion. Critics immediately accused her of undermining the voices and experiences of inappropriate behavior survivors. The backlash was swift and intense. Her statement was characterized by many as rape apologism, and social media erupted with calls for her resignation from her newly appointed role as Dean of the College of Fine Arts at Howard University, a historically black institution with a proud legacy of social justice and student activism. Howard University, while not taking disciplinary action against her, distanced itself from Rashad's remarks. In a public statement, the university emphasized that personal positions of university leadership do not reflect Howard University's policies, aiming to reassure students, faculty, and alumni that survivor advocacy remained a core value of the institution. The university acknowledged the pain Rashad's statement had caused among members of the Howard community, particularly survivors of sexual violence, and reiterated its commitment to supporting those impacted. Recognizing the hurt caused by her comments, Rashad issued an apology via email to Howard University students and their families. In her message, she sought to clarify her intentions and expressed regret for the impact her words had had. "My remarks were in no way directed towards survivors of inappropriate behavior," she wrote. "I vehemently oppose sexual violence, find no excuse for such behavior, and I know that Howard University has a zero-tolerance policy toward interpersonal violence." Her apology aimed to bridge the gap between personal loyalty to a longtime friend and her public responsibility as an educator and leader. Make sure you know this. Phylicia Rashad was born on June 19, 1948, in Houston, Texas, into a family that would ultimately become synonymous with creativity, excellence, and perseverance. From an early age, Rashad was immersed in an environment that valued both intellect and artistic expression, an atmosphere that helped shape her into one of the most respected actresses of her generation. Her mother, Vivian Ayers, was a towering figure in Rashad's life, not only as a parent, but as a source of profound cultural and intellectual influence. A Pulitzer Prize-nominated poet, playwright, publisher, and scholar, Ayers possessed a remarkable intellect and a fierce commitment to education, the arts, and African-American heritage. She instilled in her children a love of literature and a deep appreciation for classical traditions, as well as African and African-American culture. Her accomplishments and ideals laid the foundation for the artistic careers of her daughters, Phylicia and Debbie, both of whom would later become cultural icons in their own right. Rashad's father, Andrew Arthur Allen, was a successful orthodontist, a man of science and precision who balanced his wife's artistic temperament with a grounded professional presence. Though their marriage ended in divorce when Phylicia was just 6 years old, both parents remained influential in shaping the values and aspirations of their children. Rashad grew up with 3 siblings: her older brother Tex, Andrew Arthur Allen Jr., a talented jazz musician; her younger sister Debbie Allen, who would become a celebrated actress, choreographer, and director; and another brother, Hugh Allen, who chose a more traditional career path and eventually became a real estate banker in Charlotte, North Carolina. Following her parents' divorce, the most pivotal shift in Rashad's early life came when, at age 13, her mother made the bold and life-altering decision to move with Phylicia and Debbie to Mexico City. Vivian Ayers was determined to shield her daughters from the harsh realities of segregation in the American South and give them an education free from the limitations imposed by racial discrimination. The move to Mexico in the early 1960s was as radical as it was visionary, and it exposed Phylicia to a new language, culture, and way of life. Living in Mexico City proved transformative. Not only did Rashad become fluent in Spanish, but she also developed a more global worldview and a deeper understanding of cultural identity. The intellectual freedom she experienced abroad would leave an indelible mark on her sense of self and her future as a performer. Her time in Mexico also reinforced the importance of resilience and adaptability, qualities that would serve her well in her later career. Eventually, Ayers and her daughters returned to the United States, where Phylicia would go on to study at Howard University in Washington, D.C., a historically black institution known for producing leaders in the arts, politics, and academia. At Howard, she majored in theater and immersed herself in the rich cultural legacy of black artistic expression. She was known not only for her beauty and stage presence, but also for her intellect and discipline. Her years at Howard honed her skills as a performer and thinker, preparing her for the demanding world of professional theater and television. Rashad graduated magna cum laude in 1970 with a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree. During her time at Howard, she was initiated into the Alpha chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha, the first historically African-American sorority, founded in 1908. This connection placed her in a long lineage of black female leaders committed to scholarship, service, and sisterhood. The sorority's values, leadership, integrity, and social justice, aligned seamlessly with the principles Rashad had learned from her mother and refined during her university years. When talking about her career, Phylicia Rashad stands as one of the most distinguished figures in American arts and culture, a multifaceted actress, stage director, and educator whose career has spanned more than 5 decades. Best known to millions for her groundbreaking portrayal of Claire Huxtable on The Cosby Show, 1984 to 1992, Rashad became a cultural icon, redefining the image of the black American mother on television. As the poised, intelligent, and compassionate matriarch of the Huxtable family, she portrays a character who was not only nurturing and graceful, but also fiercely professional. A Yale-educated attorney who balances her career and family with quiet authority. Through that role, Rashad helped to reshape mainstream perceptions of black family life, elevating representation with warmth, dignity, and style. Long before she became a household name on television, Rashad began carving her path in the theater. In the 1970s, she made her mark on the stage in musical productions such as The Wiz and Dreamgirls, 2 Broadway hits that celebrated black artistry and helped usher in a new era of inclusivity in American theater. Her rich voice, magnetic stage presence, and classical training quickly made her a standout. But it was her dramatic depth and intellectual approach to performance that truly set her apart. Rashad's true theatrical breakthrough came with A Raisin in the Sun, Lorraine Hansberry's seminal work about a struggling black family on Chicago's South Side. In the 2004 Broadway revival, Rashad delivered a deeply moving performance as Lena Younger, Mama, earning her the Tony Award for Best Actress in a Play. With this historic win, she became the first black woman to receive the honor in that category, a milestone achievement that underscored both her immense talent and the barriers she helped to break. Her interpretation of the role was praised for its emotional nuance, strength, and reverence for Hansberry's original vision. Her stage work only deepened in power and scope in the years that followed. She took on complex roles in several plays from August Wilson's American Century cycle, including Gem of the Ocean, in which she portrayed the mystical Aunt Esther. Wilson's work, deeply rooted in African American history, pain, and spirituality, resonated with Rashad's sensibilities as both an artist and a cultural thinker. She later directed several of his plays, including Fences, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and Joe Turner's Come and Gone, establishing herself as a skilled interpreter of his poetic and richly textured work. In 2022, Rashad once again made history by winning her second Tony Award, this time for her performance in Skeleton Crew, Dominique Morisseau's acclaimed play about factory workers facing economic uncertainty in Detroit. Her portrayal was celebrated for its subtle strength and humanity, reaffirming her status as a theatrical powerhouse with enduring relevance and artistic range. Beyond the stage, Rashad brought her depth and gravitas to a variety of screen roles. She played Mary Ann Creed, the dignified and supportive widow of Apollo Creed in the Creed film series, contributing emotional grounding to the franchise. On television, she appeared in series such as Empire, This Is Us, and David Makes Man, bringing her signature poise and emotional intelligence to every performance. Whether in dramatic roles or lighter fare, Rashad's ability to convey inner strength and vulnerability remained unmatched. Her legacy, however, extends far beyond performance. In 2021, she was appointed Dean of the re-established College of Fine Arts at her alma mater, Howard University, an institution that played a formative role in her development as an artist. For the next 3 years, she helped to reshape arts education at Howard, guiding students with the same passion and purpose that defined her own career. Under her leadership, the college recentered its commitment to Black artistic excellence, integrating classical training with cultural consciousness and mentoring the next generation of actors, musicians, and visual artists. As an educator, Rashad brought to her role not just prestige, but an intimate understanding of the discipline, focus, and soul required to thrive in the arts. She often emphasized the importance of storytelling, cultural heritage, and responsibility, urging students to approach their work with both technique and intention. What do you think about Phylicia Rashad? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this, and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.